All right, so we should be live right now, but before we kind of get this thing underway, I'm gonna check my YouTube channel, make sure everything's running smoothly. Can you maybe give like a little, a brief introduction more about you and like what you do at Mount and everything?
Yes. First of all, my first name is Joseph. Last name is Katuka. I go by Joe Katuka. I'm assistant coach with the Montverde Academy varsity high school team. I've been part of the coaching staff since 2013. So I was there when Ben Simmons was finishing his senior year. So, but a little bit about me. I was a former player there. I played at Montverde Academy, 2005 to 2007. So I played my junior and senior year there at Montverde Academy. So that's basically a little background of what I do um, here at Montverde Academy.
Yeah. My first question just about that whole background thing. Do you prefer, like, do you want me to put interview with Coach Joseph Katuka, or do you prefer Joe, or what's your preference with that?
I like Joe. Let's go with Joe.
All
I
right, all right,
like to simplify everything. So Joe Katuka is fine.
all right. Yeah, but I want to talk about your playing days at Montverde. Let's see. So I was probably like 2005. I was like a year old, maybe, depending
Oh
on
wow!
the.
So thank you for letting me feel old about myself.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
wow!
I don't consider that like like a long time ago. If it's past, if it's in the 2000s, like I consider that like pretty recent. But obviously, Montverde 2005 is not Montverde, I guess, or maybe it was, but at least I knew nothing about the whole world when I was that age. But I'm assuming like Montverde back then was nowhere near, just high school basketball in general was
Yes.
nowhere near what it is today. Like, what was it like when you were playing? Were you guys getting all this attention? Like, was there even a national championship of high school basketball and all this stuff?
It was way different then. It was way different in all in all in every way basically. So it was really different because we didn't have the facility we have now. First of all, I remember sometimes we practiced in the gym and it was like really hot. The air conditioning was down. So I was there when the program was just starting to kind of make that national stage and people start getting to know us a little bit. So uh, when I was there as a basketball player, we were not fortunate to be as good, and in the sense of the talent level wasn't as good as what we everybody sees today at Marvel Academy. We were fortunate to have a bunch of good, great kids first of all, and really talented basketball players. The team I played was pretty good. My senior year we were 30-0. I have guys, seven seniors that graduated that year, 2007, went all D1. So we were good, but we were not ranked top in all our class. So it was one or two persons that was ranked maybe in the top 100 in that group. But we just bound together. We were a good group of guys that you just grinded out, and the schedule wasn't as tough as what it is today too. So, but we're fortunate, to be able to come together and win a lot of games. So we end up finishing our senior season with 30-0 record there.
Yeah, and kind of take us through like, so you're playing at Montverde. Then what? Did you go to college and playing pro for a little bit? Like, did you kind of like not really follow Montverde and everything, or were you kind of always somehow involved at Montverde one way or another?
Yeah, so most of the time people ask me like, how long you been in Montreal? To me, it's like since 2005. I think I never left. As soon as I came to Montreal, I had that connection with the school. I never left in this, spiritually, whatever it is you want to call it. I was
Yeah, yeah.
connected to Montreal Academy. But the unique thing about it, two of my younger siblings, my brother ended up coming to Montreal right after I left, and then my sister ended up coming to Montreal for another 4 years. So um, I came back working at Montreal Academy. She was still a student, so I've been part of the program for 16 years straight. So I've been connected with the program. It's been great to me and my family, and I'm just fortunate to be able to come back and hopefully, be a good influence and make a good impact, to a program that has been my family. Not just basketball, just everything that I am today is because of Montverde Academy. I came straight from Africa, came to Montverde Academy, had no expectation. Um, I make relationship with the great coaches that coaches, the coaches that came before, and the teachers were great. Everybody, my teammates were great. My classmates, everybody was great. So the connection that was been great, man. I've been I'm just fortunate, to still be here, and to be in a different role today, and hopefully kind of use that little experience that I have, as a student, as a basketball player, to kind of help, kind of mentor at the same time help, the new guys and the younger players that come after me, make the transition and hopefully achieve the goal that they come, and their own personal goals and the team goals that we always have every year of winning championships. So it's good, for me to have that experience, and hopefully, hopefully I've been sharing my experience with all the guys that been coming year in year out here at Monfort Academy.
Yeah. And you mentioned like I guess you're not America is not your home country. What was like just coming to America, coming to Montverde, probably a school like on the rise, so they weren't like as established. Everything is having to adjust to all these new changes.
It was for me, because I didn't really know much about Montverde at that time. It wasn't something that I knew, and I was like excited to come. But as soon as I came here, the experience, yes, the language barrier, everybody can hear. I still have a lot of accent. My English is not great. I had to learn the language. I have to learn, the culture here. I have to learn the pace of basketball being played in America is different from, where I came in Africa playing basketball. And the most important thing about it is just, it's the whole experience was just different. Life here is way different. Everything is different. I have to adjust to it from food, from school, from the basketball. So it was challenging at first, but that's one of the most unique thing I think I bring for most of the kids that and the players that we have. Most of them leave families from different places, and I can relate to them. Personally, because I went through the same. I'm even more. I'm even way far away from my family than most of them. That they get to see their family once a year, or multiple times a year. I saw my family maybe once or twice. In 10 years. Through my whole basketball transition. But yeah, after I played at Montverde, I went to George Washington University. I started as a freshman, played my 4 years. After that, I played in this BSN league, which is a good league below the Euro League in Puerto Rico. I was privileged to play with a team with former NBA players like Rashad McCann. That he's older. Maybe you don't know him. He went to North Carolina. Rashad McCann. And Julius Hodge that played for Denver. Some NBA guys that were on my team. So it was good. It was a good experience. And during the process of me playing, you know, Monfort Academy started the basketball academy, and the headmaster reached out and asked me if I was interested to come and help in any whatever capacity that they would need me at that moment. And I came down, um, and I'm still here. I love what I was doing. I love you know helping the kids, the players, helping them make the transition, being in the gym with them, you know, teaching them what it takes, you know, the sacrifice, to be great players, and at the same time be great students, and be great people when they get, you know, past our level, which is high school, go to college, and most of them, end up being in the pros. That's the biggest thing that most people talk about. The players that come from Montverde, they are well behaved, and most of the time we're just fortunate to have great kids. So basically, that's basically the background, my background, and you can go ahead with any
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, someone that I feel like you probably wouldn't even be expecting this question, but I know George Washington is like a pretty good university, academic wise, but not knowing much English and everything. I mean, the school is in America, so I mean, are you just like a genius, or how are you able to just go to such a highly academic university and
Um,
succeed?
I am not the genius. There's a genius in my family though. My sister, I always give her credit. She's doing her PhD right now in University of Florida. She's a computer person. I don't even know. I don't know. I haven't even seen computer before I came to the U.S. So she's the genius. I'm just I learn quick. I'm a quick learner. And so it's I'm disciplined like that, and I was in a place that was really structured. Montverde Academy gave me a really good structure that from from eating breakfast, there's time that you wake up, make your bed, go to breakfast, go to classes, go see teachers for helps, come back, study hall, practice. Everything was structured for me, and coming from an African background, we're always we follow rules, and we follow structure really well. So it was easy for me to just stay with the structure, do all my schoolwork, and everything was just not easy, but if I just stayed disciplined, I was able to achieve everything I was able to achieve. And as I said, I was a quick learner. So in college, most of the time when I go to college, for my college classes, uh, when my lecturer is teaching me whatever subject it is. Mostly, the not math, but maybe I'll say, science or anything. And me just taking notes when he speaks kind of helps me, because I have like I was I'm not I don't know I don't want to brag about it, but I can have like a picture memory. If I'm writing it down,
Yeah.
you talking to me, I'm writing it down. It stick with me. So that kind of helped me to make that progress in that field of my school.
Yeah, I don't know if Montverde was like just reaching out to basically anyone that had any sort of ties to the program for this, but you said how they reached out to you about the basketball academy and everything. Like, why do you think they chose to reach out to you and kind of invite you to, or I guess offer you that job and that opportunity?
It's I think I would say they reach out to me. The headmaster has always been open. The school has always been open to the alums. Me since when I came to Montverde, I can't even count. It's just a lot of alums that always, because I promise you, if you're here and you see the environment, after a while, this is just like home for for you. So most of the alums always come back, work with different programs, and at that moment I was in planning to leave to go overseas anytime soon, and the opportunity was there, and I came down. I said, let me see, what this program is all about. The basketball academy, and I get to meet Coach Boyle and all the coaching staff that were here before me, and everybody embraced me, and I just love the experience, and just seeing the impact I was able to make, to the kids, and to the young students and the athletes that we have here, and then see how they respond. To the little advice and the mentorship that I was giving to them was just to me, I think that was the biggest calling for me to just keep doing that, and hopefully making a positive impact um, you know in those students and athletes that we have every year here.
Yeah, and since you said you kind of always tied to Montverde one way or another, what was like I guess when you were there, it was obviously completely different from where it is now. What was like just seeing the kind of that transition of high school basketball and just Montverde evolve?
um, yes, to me it surprised me, but at the same time, it didn't really surprise me just to see how we evolve, because just being part of the program, I know how dedicated Kevin Boyle and all the staffs here are about the program. We nothing against other programs, but we are fully invested in, and we always you know our aim goal is try to be the best that we can be. At the same time, we try to, kind of install that in our players and in our athletes, to have that the same mindset. So it's just the fire. If you see Coach Ball on a daily basis, which he is the head of the whole program, and and that's what I keep saying since when I play in college. If you as a player cannot match the intensity of the dedication of like Coach Boyle can 24/7 is all basketball. His mind, he's always all about basketball, um, and if you can't really match that type of intensity, you can't really play for some coaches. Maybe you can play for some coaches, but it's gonna be hard if a coach is like so intense and so passionate about the game, and then you're kind of like a little bit too laid back. It's gonna be so hard, to get along with a coach that's always on the go like that. So Coach Boyle, his just passion and his vision for the program was basically the biggest reason that you see, how the program evolved. As soon as he came, it turns around, so fast, you know, and then the success that we kept having, and the development of the players that came after year, makes the program really great. Put us to where we are today.
As mentioned earlier, you are a coach, so describe to me your coaching style and kind of how you were able to develop to the coach you are today.
My coaching style, if it's to me, I never talk, okay, I'll be sincere. That's me. That's me. I'm always 100%. Me in everything I do. I never had a dream of like waking up and say I would be a basketball coach. I was playing basketball. I love to play basketball. I never dreamed I would be in that field of coaching. But as soon as I came down, and I promise you, just there's something special about Coach Boyle. In the way he's always his passion, and the way he teaches the game, the way he, even us as coaches, every time he just speaks, just like every day, every till today, I'm still learning from him every day. So he's a great teacher. Uh, I have to embrace his style. I am. I try to be as detailed, as he does. That's the biggest thing that I learn from him, just being detailed, and I'm putting in time. That's the biggest thing about it, putting in time and repetition, and just not just repetition, but the detail part of it. So that means you know what you're doing. That was the greatest part of it. So as me as a coach, I have to mimic him. I'm not saying I'm a Coach Ball, but I'm learning from him, and I try to. I'm not trying to be. I am intense too as a basketball player, so I have a little bit, as that, a little intensity in me, my style. I like defense, and it's good to see. That's what we basically hang our head day in day out. Um, Throughout the year, just winning games, and championship that we won is on defense. So my style is basically defensive minded, and paying attention to detail. Um, that's basically my key as a coach right now. Just paying attention to detail and just be intense. Just outwork the next person, uh, and that will always pay off.
You did say I made you feel a little bit old, but I'm assuming you're not like you don't look like an old man, so I'm sure you kind of got still some athleticism in you. Do you ever kind of maybe jump into practice or ever like one-on-one yourself, something like
No comment.
that?
I'm just joking. I think I used to. I guess I might get in trouble for that, but yeah, I used to jump in practice. Before it, I used to, before we used to have like few scrimmages. And this is live, right? I guess this is live, so everybody gonna hear
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
So that's my hand. But yes, but we used to scrimmage against, during the Ben Simmons age. It was, I was close friends with like Jason Williams, the Hall of Famer. They used to bring the team, and I used to be a big man, and we used to be like a scrimmage team. A while ago though, so that's a while ago. We used to scrimmage against our team before our big events and tournaments. So, yeah, I get beat up all the time. Even right now, during practice when I use the pad, they just try to dunk on me and just make me look little. So.
Yeah. It's just crazy
But
like
that but,
imagining.
but that keeps me young, so that's fine. I'm not complaining. That keeps me young.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Something I found like super crazy was how you said like you guys kind of pride yourselves a lot on defense. Like with kids at like the kids at Montverde, a lot of those high level kids is very difficult to get them to lock in and want to play defense and really want to win games and play team ball like they do. So as a coaching staff, how were you guys able to get your extremely stacked team to buy in on the defensive end?
Hmm. So as soon as to me, it's just basically the process. One was, that's the identity. First of all, that's Coach Boy's identity. He always want to, we want to make it hard for anybody that we play, anybody we compete, we try. That's his goal, as a coach, and so it's easy for you to install that if that's basically your identity. And most of the players that came before a lot of the younger players that we have today and people are seeing today, were successful, you know, when they all buy in and everybody always get a piece of the pile, and the only way, everybody will be able to play, especially when we have a lot of high talent players. You have to try and get more possession. How so it's easier to say you have six, seven, eight, whatever top players in the team, and you play slow pace and you back up. You don't put intense. You don't try to get extra possession. That means the shots. Is going to be fewer shots. So that kind of you know help us kind of get the message through the players to understand. Yes, when we get stops, we get more possession. Now the ball will be what? Be moved around, which we always move with the ball really well. We will get more shots. That means the players gonna get more shots. But you know, the great teams, and you can see, the basketball's evolved a lot, but defense definitely helps a lot. For you to be able to, the people say with defense win championship. You see the Golden State Warriors now, the powerful on offense winning championships. So you can't say only defense win championship, but yes, defense helps a lot. Defense helps a lot. Defense makes the other team have to dig deep. Makes them, make faster and maybe bad decisions because of how intense you play defensively. And the guys that play defense, I never see a coach that say, "Oh, I don't like a player because he played too much defense." Right? So,
Yeah.
why not you be that guy? Everybody want to be an offensive player. Why not? What you want to be the utility player? At the same time, you're as talented as the next guy. So that's why most of our players, if you see, they get that little bit um, you know, ahead of the next players because the Derek Whitehead now he's embracing playing defense. He's highly gifted, talented, athletic player. But now you can see he's taking it to the next level, picking up guys 90 feet. That's the unique thing about it. Now you might compare him with a player that is as athletic as him. Have the same skill set or maybe similar skill set. But now he brings that you know you know, another level of defense that you don't see now. It makes you more attractive. The Ben Simmons, you can see, he's making a push for what defensive player of the year. He plays under Coach Boyle for years. So, so it's easy for you to say, look at these guys. Look at that guy. Look at Ben. Look at the guys that we have before, the Scotty Barnes, that love defense. That embrace defense. The Moses Moody, that are doing great. So it's easier, for us to hopefully get that message across to all our players, to buy in. Because yes, you will get more shots, and yes, you as a basketball player, when you defend well, you attract a lot of coaches, and it makes it um, easier for people, that rank or whatever rate players, or even the coaches that need players in the next level to be more attracted to you, because you're a two-way player. People like two-way players nowadays. So basically, we try to kind of make sure they know why we emphasize defense day in day out.
Yeah, I basically agree. Like everything you said, like almost 100%. Because I guess the reason why I kind of want to do interviews with people like you is because like a goal of mine or like something I'm maybe want to do is be a basketball coach. So it's kind of why like I want to learn more. Like I've asked a lot of basic questions to other coaches, so I'm not going to ask like switch to those. But like, I wanted to know, how are you going to get all these stack guys to buy in and everything? That's kind of
Yes.
a difficult thing to do. So that's why I asked. But it does seem something though that still is difficult to get guys to do. Like I'm sure you really got to have that right group of guys. So if like people at Montverde, like if you guys do recruit players, that's kind of what the school does. Are you looking for guys to that are going to fit the system, or will you just take anybody and hope to develop them?
Um,
Let me phrase, like as in
Go
they
ahead.
also like they gotta be like like probably like a Division 1 prospect, I guess, or like
Yes, yes,
a little below.
definitely.
I'm saying more like, do they need to have a certain personality while you're recruiting them, or does that not really matter to you? Like you guys are just gonna do your job with them, or like are you looking for kids that are kind of respectful and good at playing team ball and everything?
Yes, I'm not, that's me. I'll keep saying, I'll be 100% with you, with anybody that's gonna tell you about me. The fact about it is, yes, we are, fortunate. Most of the kids that we have, we know, they buy in. They're great kids, and they work hard. They buy into the system. But at the same time, yes, we if we know a kid will not fit our system, will not fit the school system, you know, and it's not going to work out for him, we will not want him, in the program. Your program, you know what type of kids, will fit, the school. Not just, that's the biggest thing people don't understand. Montford Academy is a you talk about George Washington, one of the the top school academically, in the U.S. But Montford Academy, through my years as a player, as a student, we have multiple students in Harvard that graduated in Harvard, top of the class. We have students that went to Yale, top schools. So the academic part of it and our graduating rate since when I was in Harvard is always 100%. So if we have a player that can really play basketball and he's a good student, he can fit here because school always comes first. So yes, we're gonna have to do all that our little assessment about the players too. To who he is as a basketball player, who he is as a student. Does he fit? What we what we envision here at Monfort Academy. Um, does his goal, his personal goal? Can we help him achieve his personal goal? If we can't, if he, his goal is to come and score maybe 50 or whatever, we have him be a high scoring player. Maybe he might not fit our system. Maybe if I don't know, whatever his own personal goal. But if his goal is, to get to the next level, to get to college, we've been great and we are successful, in that field of, through the years, you can see the development of the players year in, year out, um, to get them to their whatever, is their own goal as a basketball players. And the 8 years I've been here, I think I would say Coach Ball and the whole Montreal Academy, we have overachieved, in that field. We have a lot of players that came here, you um, I would say maybe mid, not mid or not mid or maybe a little bit past mid level type of talent. And before a year or two here at Marvel Academy, everybody see them grow as basketball players and become more well known and more polished. So it's definitely um, it's definitely a great program, and we do a great job. Kind of making sure we know, you know who the kid is, and and what he wants, and then and he fits what we want as a team. We already have a point guard. We're not gonna go because he's a great point guard. Go bring another point guard. We have to definitely see what we need. We need a great guys. And most of the guys, and not just most of the guys. Since I've been here, all the guys that have been through our program, I never heard anybody say anything bad about our players. They were respected, respectful, in the community or wherever they end up going and playing. Um, the biggest thing about it, people are like, what did you guys do to these guys? To me, I always give the credit to the parents. Most of the kids that we bring here in our program, their parents did a great job raising them, and it's easy for us as coaches now, to do our jobs because they're already respectful. The Caleb Houston, I can name names. All these guys are just great guys. The next thing love from this year. Just, you talk to some of them, you see how they carry themselves.
Yeah,
Those guys, they're
they're
highly
so nice.
they're high profile players, but you will never know. You see the Rick Whitehead, just he hugs everybody around campus. I see him day in day out. Kid Cunningham being always grateful, being tanking little kids that rebound the ball for him on campus here. All the guys here, this Scotty, you can go around all our guys. Just good people. So it's easy for us to do our job. Because their parents. I'll give most of the credit to their parents, and they're good kids, and they fit our program. And yes, yeah, we're losing point guard. Yes, we have to go look for a point guard, for next year. So we have to do our job, but at the same time, we have to find, not the right kid. We'll find someone that can hopefully fit the puzzle, and has a drive to be more successful as a basketball player and as a student. So when he comes here, it's easier for us as coaches to push him, or push whoever, him, and he will understand why we push them, to maybe work harder, to get stronger, in the weight room, get extra shots, work on their handles and all that good stuff. So yeah, we definitely kind of, we keep our eye on the prospect that hopefully we try to get.
Yeah, that's funny how you kind of mentioned, about Dariq Whitehead and like Scotty Barnes and Kate Cunningham, because I actually said that. I said I have like I guess a little story about Dariq Whitehead when I met him for the first time. It was
Yeah.
at St. Palms in 2019, and this is before I was doing anything media. I was just there as a fan. Like I loved high school, or I was getting into high school basketball, and I'm like, it's only like an hour and a half from my house. Like my dad loves basketball too, so we went. I remember I asked Dariq Whitehead for a picture,
Yeah.
and he said, "Thank you for coming." I was like. I was in shock. I was blown. Like, one, like he spoke to me. Besides, like see ya. I was
Yeah.
shocked. Then he thanked me to this random kid for coming to his game.
For coming to watch him play, right?
I was in complete shock. I remember like the whole drive back to my house with my dad. I was saying like, do they teach them like how to talk to fans or something? Like they must have some sort of course where they teach them how to like speak to fans and stuff. Because I was just absolutely blown away just by how good of kids they are.
It's somebody we pride our students to carry themselves in the right way. Our teachers do a great job teaching them in the classroom. Our coaches it has been great. um, you know you know role models, and they look up to the people around them. And yes, when you come in a program, that Derek came in, he had guys that were ahead of him, the Mike DeVoe, the RJ Barrett, the Andrew Nemhard. Those guys were, first class, humans, not just basketball players. They're first class basketball players, but they're great people too. So, you learn that, from them. And, he's one of the older guys that we have in the team. And now the new guys come in and see him and see how he carried himself. It's easy, to kind of have that going, year in, year out, and yes, we emphasize that. We teach them, the really importance of just being great, grateful to people, and to anybody around you. And the biggest thing that I learned from Coach Ball is that's one thing I learned about him. He's always lifting people around him, and that's why he's been so great. I don't know, a lot of people don't know him as a person. Maybe individually, I've been around him for 8 years. That's one thing that I know about him. You've been around. He's gonna lift you in your face. Around anybody asks question about you, he's gonna lift you and just kind of make you are a great person. But just hearing that from someone, and see how highly he cares about you, as a person. So that's basically it start with the leader. Basically he's a great leader. He's a chain reaction. He's a great man, great coach, great, you know, dad to his family. He's been great. He's a great human. In general. And that the players see how he carry himself. And they mimic that. And you know, uh, I'm not gonna cut their parents. Their parents raised them well too. So to put all that together, it's great. And you come into a program that when they come to the program, they know the expectation for the program, because the program has been successful. So it's easy, to buy in. And because the outcome for most of the players, you can see that they've been successful and are doing really really, really well. So why not? Why not want to be like the next guy? So it's good stuff here.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like the kids, all being very good kids, probably very helpful. But something that Montverde and a lot of these other prep schools are known for, with like bringing in kids is one, there's those kids that graduate, obviously, so that kind of changes up the team, and then you're getting these new players from all around the country that maybe like no one would even expect them to even come to the school in the first place. So
Mm-hmm.
how are you guys able, like every single team is probably just so different from like one another. How are you guys able to adjust to those? Like last year's team is completely different from this year's team. Like they're both it's probably both would have been back to back champions, but they're both
Yep.
different teams. So how do you guys adjust every single year to a completely different roster?
To me, that's all Coach Boyle. That's what that's when coaching comes in. That's basically when coaching comes in. I've told that. I've been here as a basketball player. I've been here, as a coach, for 8 seasons now going in. Um, every team is different. Every team is unique. You can give me a year, I can just throw you, you know, you know, your players and how the team was built. But yes, the foundation has always been the same. Our identity is the same. So that kind of makes it easy. Your foundation is already solid. Our foundation is already solid. Coach Ball, his demand to all the players, it's going to be the same. But yes, last year the team was way talented. So it was easier, to get by, with practices maybe faster. I'm not saying, the team this year was, yes, the talent level was better last year. So, maybe the practices was a little bit, you know, 2 hours maybe, example. And then maybe like this year, we have three, we have 5, 6 new guys, that are joining the program. And we have, 5 guys that are returning. And, the talent wasn't as last year or 3 years ago when RJ was here. So we have to like maybe pay more attention to details, maybe on rebounding. We have to adjust some of our play sets. Um, so it's just the coaching of Coach Ball. He's a good he's a good coach, and he knows how to um, kind of makes everything fits. It doesn't matter what it is. Especially this year, you can see, yes, Sunrise had a really good team. You can see maybe we're like head to head, talent wise, you're gonna go book, roster, and you go player by player. They're as good as Montverde Academy, IMG, have a good team. But the biggest thing that we emphasize is just the detailing and what we need to do a little bit more. You know, to get that edge. So we work on rebounding more with this group. Like last year, we did not have to do that because we have Deron Sharp, he's a dominant
Yep.
rebounder. We have Scotty Barnes, the
Yeah.
dominant rebounder. So something that's like example. That's the type of stuff that we have to do with a different team. Maybe RJ's here. He had some bigs. He don't have shooters, and then now we have to like try to find a way to to put some shooters around RJ Barrett so he can have more rooms to drive. So the adjustment is done based on the personnel that we get year in year out, and Coach Ball has been doing a great job, and all our coaching staff have been doing a great job. Just utilizing whatever personnel we have year in year out to be as successful as we are. Year in year out.
Yeah, just like how if you're a basketball player, you got to be a team player. You got to know your role and everything. As an assistant coach to a coach like Coach Boyle, then I know there's Coach Boyle Jr. I don't know if there's another like coach as well. I don't have the whole like staff memorized, but what's kind of your more specific role to the coaching staff and how you kind of bought into your own role?
So I know people watching or whatever that kind of can't see me, but you see me as a person. I'm a 6'10" guy, so I'm I've been charged all the big guys. Pay I spent a lot of time with the Jalen Duran and the bigger guys and skill development and all that stuff. And I play the position, so it's easy for me to navigate and see some coverage for them, or how to approach the game from my perspective to kind of yeah, hey Jalen, this is what's it's open for you. Your right, your left shoulder hook shot. You can take that. You run the floor a little bit harder. Um, you know, rebound. What he need to focus more. And as a basketball player that plays that position, so it's easy for me to navigate that. But my role, yes, I'm the big man coach here, and I'm the skill development coach. So I spend a lot of time in the gym with the guys, just drilling and getting them reps, and during the games I try to help kind of navigate, and see what's open, and kind of you know play my role, to to help them to be successful, in the flight of the game. But sometimes in the flight of the game, there's a lot of stuff going on. People
Yeah.
don't understand. They're 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. They're still young. And sometimes you might think they know stuff, and you're like, "Oh, Drake, now you gotta run harder. Attack the basket." Now he's, "Oh, I wasn't doing it." That's my role, and it's I guess it's good. And, they're buying in, getting more reps. Working on Jalen, on dominating the low block. Maybe going quicker, to in his decision in the post because he's big and so dominant. It takes so much time. The double gonna come. You're gonna have a long day. Like stuff like that. Just I'm a player coach. Kind of guy. I see what's going on, kind of help navigate. But my main role is focusing on the bigger guys, that we have year in year out. The run shop, the Philip Petrusev that was here, Balsa, Kepro Pizza, all these guys. I work with those guys year in year out.
Yeah, and just a couple more questions, kind of before we end this interview. But I guess for me, I'm just a normal guy. Like, obviously I do a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm just a normal guy who lives in just a normal town. I don't live in a small town. Like I live in just a normal community and everything. Like watching these basketball players, like seeing Jalen Duren, like one like his body, like looks like a like I'm like blown away by that. And then just the way I've never seen a big play like him. Like just the way he rebounds. What impressed me was the way he rebounds without picking up fouls. That like blew me away. Like he's not getting any foul trouble.
No body contact. Yep.
Yeah, I think he did like a couple hook shots and impressed me. He might have did a little bump fadeaway kind of thing. I was like, there's no way he's making this. And like I was just in shock. And
it's
yeah.
The fadeaway you're talking about. I forgot who I was talking to yesterday. I think it was one of our coaches. To me, I think that's one of his best shots. But unfortunately, maybe I hope he doesn't listen to this or watch this and start taking those shots. But yes, he is that skilled. He has an amazing touch, and his body is just like I never seen anything like that too. I remember when I was his age, I was like this little skinny, a big guy, just running around trying to play tough. But yes, he's just gifted with the body. But yes, he has amazing touch. The one dribble bump, middle and spin jump shot, he's really good. And he's we rep that, but what we try to make sure he understand. Yes, if it's needed, you can take it. What do you say? His body and he's how athletic he is. He can go closer to the basket, and the closer to the basket he gets, the more success rate he can have, the higher percentage shot he will get day in day out. So that's what we try to kind of make him understand. Yes, if you need to take the little jump shot, yes, take it. But if you're shooting maybe 45% of that shot, which is good, and you can with his body, you can be closer to the basket and shoot 68, 65%. Why not just take it? Why take the tougher shot? So and that's the biggest for that's the biggest thing that we try to make sure he understand. And he's been really coachable, and you can see at the end of the season everything was coming together for him. That he understand his role. He came from a place that maybe he was getting more shots. Now his role is is different. We have Caleb Houston. That shoots the ball better than I don't know anybody his age. I guess to me in America right now. You got Langston, one of the most stronger, tough, guards in America. The athletic wings like the Rick Whitehead. So and it's only one basketball. So you embrace your role, on rebounding and and playing defense. Now you fit the puzzle, and that's what happened. You can see how happy all of them were when we won the championship. Now they know why they sacrificed a lot, for that common goal to just be a champion. It's just they're so happy. I'm just happy for them, and it's rewarding for them to see. And yes, the rebounding thing. Yes, we did drills over and over and over, rebounding drills day in day out. And that became kind of like second to nature with them because every day in practice, yes, we practice rebounding and all that stuff. So it was good. I think my light's going off.
Yeah. And I'm sure at Montverde, or at least for you personally, I guess maybe for those guys it means a little more, but for you, you probably had a lot of success being there at Montverde. Like it's winning a national championship is not, a big surprise story to a lot of people that Montverde won and everything. But just how difficult was this season, and just what was that experience like winning that national championship?
You talking about the last one?
Yeah, and the 2021, like what was like, winning the national championship this year? Even though I'm sure for you it was,
to me, yes, that's I think that you're not the only person that asked me this question. To me, this is one of the most special championship I've been part of. Hopefully more to come. Hopefully, we get to win more. So, but first of all, the 2020, everybody knows, the year of the pandemic, how tough it is. How life has changed for everybody. It's a lot of sacrifice. The players has to do. The parents have to trust us. To let the kids live. Live their different states. We have kids from Canada live different countries to come to play basketball. So that's first of all, that's one of the most unique thing about this championship. Yes, now we're coming to a season that we don't even know what to expect. We don't know. Every game you get into, you have to go through the COVID protocol. You have to go through tests. Excuse me. You don't know what's gonna happen. So we were just taking it day by day, and we have new players that they have to deal. We have to try and help them go through this transition. To understand the roles. The phenos that they're good basketball players now. The Justice Williams, good basketball players that come into our program. It's kind of it's easy to say yeah, I'm going to my brother, and then now you're here. Now you used to be playing a lot. You used to be having a bigger role, and then you have to go through the adjustment for the newer players. And then yes, for the new for the returning players, now they have to get used to playing with the newer guys too. Everything happened in a short time in a little short period that we don't even know how the season's gonna go, and the league. We have the whole basketball conference that we play all the top teams. I don't think
Yeah.
in the history of basketball there's any, you know, and I never seen anything in this level of to having the top teams playing day in day out and for us to be able to stick together, at the same time keep growing as a team. You can see game by game. We were making we were progressing. We were getting better day in day out, rebounding. We were gelling, running our offense here in and out. Better and better and better. So it's a unique year. It's just a lot. Just yes, to me, just nobody has. I don't know if yes, we believe that we will win the championship, but I think
Yeah.
if we don't win the
I
championship, if we don't win this
the whole
championship, it's not gonna be like the worst thing ever to happen with the whole 2020 and even with the talent level that we have. I think a lot of teams were as talented as us, but we put in time. We were practicing 3 hours, 3.5 hours. These guys, our players were tired, but they kept grinding. You know, Paying attention to details, adjusting game in, game out. We have to rebound well. Hello?
Yeah, you're good. All good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, to day in, day out, we have to adjust to it and, to get to Geico and everything start coming together and to win it is a special year. It's to me, it's the best of the best yet, for us. It's a great accomplishment for us as a team. And I'm really excited and I was really excited for the guys, and I know the sacrifice that they did, and all the hard work that they did. Coach Ball sacrificing a lot of time, KBJ, Coach Ray, all our staff. Everybody was just putting in time, and the players just putting time, and and the trust. That's the biggest thing about it. Everybody trusts the process, and you can see the last game, everything just kind of gelled that third quarter, and we just play, and that's what we just, we were striving the whole year to be able to make a play, and to, play a game like that, that we show all the hard work. We rebounded well, we make shots, this time, hours of hours that came in, that those guys are coming in for shots in the gym. You see the Langston Love making shots, Caleb Houston, Ryan Nemhart. People don't know how great that he shots he can shoot the ball, but people don't see the hours that even with the pandemic that they were spending in the gym, bonding together, being in the in their own bubble, put them isolating themselves, for basketball. It's a lot of sacrifice that came in, and for us to win this championship was it was just icing in the cake for us. And I'm just so happy, just really happy, that we were fortunate, and all our hard work, you can see pays off. So it was good.
Yeah, and a player that also won a national championship with you guys, and it seems like you have a pretty good relationship with. I think he might have sent you over some Puma gear recently, unless you just splurged on Puma. But RJ Barrett, for you maybe a little closer in age, so it's not as big of a deal for me to see a guy casually hanging out with RJ Barrett, like having a good relationship with a guy like that? Just talk about your relationship with him.
Um, it's gonna take another hour, but I'm gonna just make it. I'm gonna give you the shorter version. So RJ came to us when he was 15 years old. RJ, came through the whole process. He was, Derek is younger, but a really talented kid, gifted. But me and him kind of connected in a really good way because he had that respect of, I was like, I was way younger then, so he was like a a coach. He has a respect for a coach and a big brother, and he, always, have that respect for me, as someone that he trusts. Based on his advice, and most of my advice were never friendly. Because I told him a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't want to hear, but he received them. But I'm like, you are not going as hard as you can go. You have to do this, you have to do that. I would like always push him on him, uh, year in year out, to see him just being receptive. Yes, there's a lot of bumps in the road. It wasn't all smooth. There's sometimes that you can see, you're like, geez, this is like too hard. This is a lot. This I don't want to hear this from this guy, but he took it the right way. The development, the progression, him trusting in what we do, and him hearing me, my voice all the time. Like my voice for him was like tough, I'm like, I'm that tough guy, just like always on him, like, dude, you gotta do this, you're not giving me the best, like stuff like that. And but he understand it was not it was not any of my intention to make him feel bad or less of him as a basketball player. It's for me to push to hopefully get the best out of him. So year out, he understand that now. It's now he's doing well, and we can stay in touch with him every time he's in town. You can see, even when he was at Duke, as soon as he left for Duke, he came in. I said, RJ, talk to this kid, some of the academy kids. Just tell them, what it is, your experience. He loved his experience as me, like me when he went to Montverde. Montverde is like a family, to him till today. He cherished the school, the experience is always, at that moment, there's a lot of stuff that he didn't like. He was like, oh, this is too hard, what is this guy's talking now? Now he understands why we pushed him so hard. And so that's basically what makes him, kind of, you know, you know, I'm not, I think he had a relationship. He had a good relationship with other coaches too, But me and him just like that's special, connection, in that sense that he trusts me as as someone that we give him the criticize him, just maybe a lot of stuff that some people will not say to him, maybe, you know, of people my age, you will have like maybe a little bit nicer. I wasn't nicer because I saw him and I saw how talented he was. That he, if he pushed himself and he figured it out and said that is what he wanted to do. And I remember the day he came and told me, like personally, you're like, Joe, this is what I want to do for a living. I said, then now it's easier. Now when I say, you got to run harder than this. You got to go this, extra mile to do this, to do that. Put extra time in the gym. It's easier for me to do it now because that's what you say you want to do for a living. So him coming as a 15-year-old and living 3 years later, and you see his progression as a young man, and now he's doing great stuff, in the NBA. It's good. It's good. I'm just like happy for him.
For sure. And now, my final question for you of the interview. I want to know, what are your, I guess, do you have maybe any sort of future goals? Is there really like a place you're trying to get to, or I guess, yeah, just what are you trying to accomplish?
Um, that's a good question. Now, we started the interview with talking about how old I am. So yeah, I'm getting older. I'm getting I got a little bit of experience. I love what I do. I think it's nice. There's no day I wake up and I feel like it's a job for me. Um, so I love what I do. I'm gonna say it over and over. If I can do this for the rest of my life, that's what I'm gonna do. I just want to be in the gym. Coach Boy gonna ask Coach Boy gonna tell you. I'm a gym guy. I'm the guy that want to be in the gym. Let's get this reps. Let's work on this, work on that. I love being in the gym. Yes, but if an opportunity happens, that I can do it in a higher level. Yes, I'm open to it. Yeah, everybody's gonna grow in life, but it's not a rush. I love what I'm doing. I can see um, the reward of it, in the sense of, the players and the guys, becoming better men, becoming better players, and, giving back and doing stuff, great stuff in life. And, just all I want it. And just, you're just happy. It's good to just turn around and see a text from RJ or, Scotty or whatever, or some of the former players, just saying thank you, there are more, all the players that being here, the boss, just like how, you know, thank you. Now I understand what you were saying. So to me, I love what I'm doing. If the opportunity comes, college level, pro level, in the future, we'll see. But I love what I'm doing, and it's been great.
Definitely. Well, Coach, really, really grateful for your time. It means a lot having you come on and everything. But before we interview them, let me just plug our Instagrams real quick. So make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at I don't know how you kind of pronounce your Instagram, but I guess I think
Joe Jab. It's my
that's what I was thinking. But
just say.
Again, there could be other ways too. So follow him on Instagram, Coach. His Instagram is at Joe Jeb. How you spell it? JOJEB.
Yep.
My Instagram's at iHoopsFL. And anyways, for Montverde Academy assistant coach and head coach of, it's not the national, like the, I think it's
the regional team. Yeah.
Yeah, and head coach of the
regional
team, Coach Joe Katuka. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.